Hey everyone, and welcome back. This week we're exploring the southern end of the Great Barrier Reef, diving into incredible reefs, vibrant corals, and diverse marine life. We are at one of the few reef islands that boast a natural lagoon, offering a unique opportunity to experience both shallow waters and vibrant coral gardens all in one place. While we're not afraid of sharks, we did come across something that completely shocked us. It's hard to believe that we've only been relaunched for almost 2 months, and since relaunch, something's gone a bit wonky. Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie? James.
We are at Lady Musgrave Island, the second southernmost island in the Great Barrier Reef. And the first thing we did when we got here was meet up with friends and head to the neighboring islands 4 nautical miles away called the Fairfax Islands. We all jumped in our friend's boat and headed out of the lagoon and across the way. Stepping onto these islands are off limits to visitors, but there's good reason for that. In the past, these islands were used as a bombing range by the Australian Air Force and Navy. The activity stopped over 40 years ago, and since then, the vegetation has recovered immensely. Bomb disposal experts have found and destroyed unexploded ordnance left from the bombings. However, the Army suggests that there may still remain some unexploded ones on the island. Rather than closing off the entire area, only the island is off limits. This means that people can visit the waters surrounding the islands, which are a haven for marine life and coral, but visitors cannot go ashore. Unfortunately, the GoPro we brought along stopped working during this snorkel. It ended up taking on some water and gave out and died. But on the bright side, the very last thing it captured was the stunning beauty of this reef. It's a fitting way for it to go out, surrounded by such incredible underwater sights. After a wonderful day exploring Fairfax Islands, we made our way back to the lagoon, reflecting on the unforgettable experience.
Alright, so I seem to be having a bit of trouble with our GoPro, but essentially what I wanted to share with you guys today was the canvases that we have at the back here. And we've already mentioned them in a previous video, and one of the questions that we put out to you guys was whether we should cut it so that it falls down and be in this position here, or whether we cut it rounded with the roof so that it can go straight out and not have the wrinkles in it. So as you can see, we opted for it to be rounded, so when it is very heavy weather, it's a little wrinkly hanging down, but then we preferred the open and airy look of the other side here when we do have them out. Now, the thing that I wanted to speak to you about, and what I was filming on the GoPro, was I was adding battens to the canvas. Now you can see here, these are the battens here, And I'm going to have to go and get Kate to film it so I can show you guys how good it is. Just 2 secs. Okay, so now that I have my beautiful assistant, all I've used for battens, you can use anything you want, is just some cheap PVC pipe. And the reason the battens are so awesome is it gives us the ability to hang them out and hang them down. So it opens up the whole area. You can still use the back seat, but the afternoon sun isn't beating in the side here. So what I'm in the middle of doing right now is I have rope or string holding these up, and then I'm putting bungee to the bottom here. Now on the other side you can see here I'll put the bungee holding it down, and that'll just help flex with the wind. But let me show you. Come on over here, check this out. So these are our biggest ones. With the batten in the bottom, you can haul it up and roll it up by yourself. See? Now there's no way I'd be able to do this as neatly or as good by myself without the batten. So it just gives us the ability to put them out and especially put them away by ourselves. So what I'm up to for the next little bit is, if you see over here, I don't actually like the way these are hanging down, so I'm going to swap them to the outside. I'll tie these up, I'll fit the bungees to the bottom, and that's going to be our canvas system. If I haven't sold the battens to you enough, what the battens also do is they hold the canvas nice and straight, and when it does blow, it doesn't flap as much down and around the bottom because it is nice and rigid. Therefore we need less tie-off points to keep it nice and tight. Today's a glamour day, so I only actually have 2 on either end. We'll put the windier ones in the middle. But needless to say, huge fan of putting battens in your shade sails.
Talk to me, it's what I want the most in my life. They say you're out of my league, but I don't give a damn. No, deep down, I know you want it. You wanna take a leap and jump in. You wanna fall in love. You get me spinning, wouldn't it be awesome? If you just kiss me slowly and have me in your arms. If I could make you see it, baby, would be something to make the starlight jealous up above.
Hey guys, we just wanted to take a moment to share something with you. When we started this YouTube journey, it became very apparent right at the beginning that we needed to get better equipment. And one of the things that we invested in was 4 brand new GoPros. Now, what we've found with these GoPros, and this is what we wanted to share with you guys, is that all 4 of them have died due to water ingression. They say that they're waterproof up to 10 meters or 33 feet. I can promise you that we have not gone past even 5 meters. They've only been used in and around the surface. But one thing that has happened, before we started this journey, we had Old Faithful here, a Hero 4 in a waterproof case.
She's still going very strong.
She's still going perfectly. So what this leads us to believe is that you've got to get waterproof cases for your GoPros. If you guys are thinking about going in and around the water extensively, as I said, we've lost 4 now. They have all lasted past the year warranty, but none of them have lasted up to 2 years. So what we're faced with now is we've lost all of our newer GoPros. We only have new Faithful, and we need to buy better equipment. So another thing we want to ask is, if you guys know of any other, if you tried the DJI brand or know of anything like a GoPro that you found to be very durable and good around the water.
Yeah, we're looking for an action camera that's small and durable. Waterproof.
Yeah. If you don't know of anything, that's absolutely fine. We'll get some more GoPros, but what we are going to have to do is get some waterproof cases for it. The reason we don't want to do that is because the sound is very muffled through here. So we like to have it when we're jumping in the water, as you've probably seen, or talking about something we've seen, or having a chat. And unfortunately, that doesn't work when you have the case on them.
Everything's very muffled. You can't really hear much. And yeah, it all just sounds like gurgle.
Yeah, guys. So to wrap it up, If you're going to get a GoPro and it's going to be around the water, we recommend you buy a waterproof case for it. They say they're waterproof up to 10 meters. Like I said, we've lost 4. So we've learnt this lesson 4 times over now. So please get a waterproof case. And if you know of anything else, or you have another thing that you use in around the water that has lasted more than 2 years, please let us know. Because as soon as we hit town,
we are in search of some new equipment.
Yeah, we'll be buying some more. So yeah, thanks very much, team.
Thanks, Mom.
How cool was that? Your turn. Let's go find some fish, yeah? This reef is home to over 1,000 species of fish, making it a vibrant and diverse underwater paradise. Despite the reputation sharks may have, these guys here are actually quite shy. While the word shark might sound intimidating, these species are generally difficult to approach because they're quite skittish, but they play an essential role in maintaining the health of the reef. They help keep the ecosystem balanced, making them an important part of the reef's overall well-being. As we returned to the boat, we encountered something far more terrifying than sharks. Something that truly took us by surprise.
So it's surprising to notice that that is less than 2 months. So generally speaking, the way we like to do it is we don't like to touch the antifowl or do any kind of scrubbing for the first 6 months, because once you start, you've got to keep doing it. And we're super surprised to notice that it's less than 2 months, and I can't leave that amount of hair on there. I'm going to have to scrub it off. Now, if you look at some of the footage, you'll notice there's some darker black and some lighter black. And what we did is we've trialled 2 different antifowls. We've got the Vivid Petite, which is the darker black that we always had on here, and we will highly recommend this commercial brand of international paints, and that's what's the lighter black. It would seem it's fairly comparative. They've both got a lot of weed growing on them. So our other option is to paint on a bootstrap. And the reason we would paint on a bootstrap is that way we can use normal antifouls with copper in them and other additives. And you need that bootstrap as a barrier, otherwise even if you put a barrier coat underneath the antifoul, that top will bleed over the top and start corroding your aluminium. So we may have to look at that in the future, because this here, in my opinion, just isn't good enough. If anyone at home has an aluminium boat with aluminium antifoul that they could highly recommend in tropical waters, please let us know. Because we'll be more than happy to find out. The next step is maybe Vivid Petite offers a lot of colours. We can trial different colours and see if that makes a difference. The reason we have the 2 different antifouls there is the international one we have is a hard antifoul. The Vivid Petite is what we call ablative or self-polishing, so it's a softer antifoul. And I knew Vivid works fairly well, so I put that on my leading edges and all the places where I felt it was more important to have a good antifoul because it was already proven. But that's the reason we have the 2 down there. It will mean probably I'll find that the Vivid is a little bit easier to scrub, and if that is the case and they're both deteriorating at the same speed, then Vivid will be the one that we'll be using from now on.
Alright guys, we're headed out to Lagoon. There's been some manta rays on the other side of the island, but it's low tide right now, so we have to go out through the entrance and then down and over. So there's been like quite a few manta rays over there. So now we're going to follow some friends that have just seen them, and they're going to bring us to where they have seen the manta rays, and hopefully we'll find them. But this is quite the adventure. We're going to be going out the entrance at low tide. What's making this even more of an adventure is navigating out of the lagoon. We can't take a straight path across the coral reef right now, as it's low tide and no clearance for the tender. And there's no guarantee that the manta rays will still even be there when we get there, let alone in a few hours at high tide. Instead, we'll need to head down to the entrance, then out, and finally make our way back over. And it's definitely shaping up to be quite the exciting journey. Why are we getting so excited to see manta rays? These guys are among the largest rays in the world, with wingspans up to 7 meters or 23 feet. And despite their large size, they are extremely placid and friendly. But most of all, they are curious, often approaching divers and snorkelers, and it's their willingness to interact with humans that makes them so captivating. These guys migrate, and they don't stay in the same place and have a preference for deeper waters, so sightings can be rare. And it's this rarity that adds to the excitement of encountering one in the wild. Many divers and snorkelers consider it a bucket list item. Oh wow, and it's glassy. You can see. On the way home, Sam and I had a blast racing the tenders. Maggie the magpie, our trusty outboard, is doing well, though she's been a bit temperamental and trying to die on us every now and then. Luckily, Sam's a mechanical whiz and always gets her back up and running. That said, we got the chance to test out our friend's outboard, and Sam and I had a fun race back to the lagoon. What a great way to wrap up the day with a little friendly competition and plenty of smiles.
When we pick up a mooring, what we'll normally do is we'll get the eye of the mooring, which is this thing here, and we will pull it all the way up to our windlass or our anchor winch. And the reason we do that is it brings the buoy, which is this blue thing over here, and it brings it up in between the hulls so that it doesn't bang on either side of the hull. But what's happened today is the wind has gotten up a lot more than predicted. And these moorings, they're rated for an 18 meter catamaran up to 34 knots. And we're 16 meters and we've had 33 knots so far. So we're getting up near the limit. So to give it the best chance of success, we've eased the eye all the way back to theoretically where it should be on the boat to give it the best design scope to deal with the waves, because it's not necessarily the wind, it's the swell that's inside the lagoon here shock loading the mooring that can cause some kind of failure. What we've also done to be safe on our end is we have gone what I like to call Spider-Man. So we have a safety upon a safety upon a safety and then another rope to be safe again, so that none of this will fail. We've gone nice and stretched, so it doesn't shock load it too much, and yeah, hopefully she'll hold us throughout this blow, and hopefully the wind goes away shortly. We can get back to exploring this wonderful place.
But it hasn't been all bad. We've gotten rain, which has been brilliant. We've filled up the water tanks. We've been able to do laundry, which is now drying in the cockpit.
I got to service the engines, so I did a 500-hour service on them, so they're all good to go for quite a bit more time.
And then that means that all of our stuff that we need to do is done. So the next beautiful day, we are ready to go ashore for a bit of an adventure.
And hopefully that's tomorrow. This blow shouldn't last too long. There's a lot of rain and cloud around, and I think that's what's bringing on the wind, so it should die off fairly fast, and yeah, we'll get back to exploring. And
the raincoat.
Yeah. Marcelo?
Dance, dance!
Did you try that?
I saw that.
It's cold, Mommy.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out and we'd greatly appreciate it. Join us next week as the winds ease and we get to explore the island.